To live in the city means to be surrounded by noise, traffic, pollution, distractions, advertising, easy access to low conscious activities, materials, foods, ways of thinking, ways of being. It's very different to being in the monastery. It's very different to being in the mountains, to being in the jungle. And I think about what it means to be a conscious being and my experience of moving to Melbourne, living in Melbourne, and going about day-to-day life. And it really is bloody hard to be conscious. It's hard to actually have myself, to have my life, to be my authentic self. And many times I ask, why is it that it's taken me so long to really sense myself? Why is it that so many times I forget myself? I have things come up that are not the real me, things that are distractions, things that are addiction. So yesterday, to give a concrete example, I had 2 cups of coffee, and that's unusual for me, and it gave me a terrible crash. Yeah, there was an evening crash where I ended up thinking maybe I'm not going to make it through. Maybe I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do. Maybe I do need to try something else, even though I feel like sometimes I've tried everything. Yes. So there's definitely doubt and misdirection and a sense of, what is it that I'm trying to do? What is it that I'm trying to achieve? And with living in a city, I can see why conscious people choose to go and live in the countryside. Conscious people choose to go and live somewhere else, somewhere quiet, somewhere where they can be alone and nurture their own awareness, nurture their own sense of who they are, their own sense of clarity. Because there's so much noise. There's just so much noise in the city. And that noise sneaks up in lots of different ways. Even if you have good habits, even if you have a strong connection with awareness, strong experiences of what it means to live with love, with clarity, with peace. Even if you have a strong sense of that, it's difficult. Even with a good experience and some mileage on what that means, then it can still sneak up on you. It can still get you. And really, that's why I created the Lifetime Burn Meditation. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now with this daily update, which is to document my sense of what it means to burn every day, every moment. To say, no matter where I am, even if it's in the city, even if it's with a busy schedule, I still burn. I still bring myself to it. Because most of the time, people don't have the money, the time, the drive, or whatever to go and live in a different country and study awareness full time for 6 months. To do just meditation and awareness intensives for 6 months straight. Now, I've done that. I'm very fortunate that I've been able to do that. And that means just having nothing else going on. No job, no relationship, no home. You are completely free to be completely immersed, submerged in awareness intensives. Now, if we don't have time for that, you've got work. You've got to go do your grocery shoppings. You've got to go do your bills. You've got to print stuff at Officeworks. You've got to do your stuff with your clients or your community meeting or your family or your Saturday sports, yeah? All of this stuff. It's like you can't really unravel this in any easy way. It's not easy to put that aside. And you shouldn't have to, yeah? You should be able to live a conscious life. Osho didn't want to create monks sitting on their cushion in the monasteries in the mountains. That's not the sannyasin way. That's not the conscious way. Now, whether you're into Osho or not doesn't matter. It's whether you're into awareness or not, living a conscious life or not. And if you're living a conscious life, you should be able to dance with the chaos, to dance with all the mess of living in a city, all the mess of having a schedule, of having creativity. And I notice now as I'm talking, I can feel a turnaround. I can feel a shift from being confronted by the chaos to embracing the chaos and even utilizing the chaos for creativity as a propulsion. Yes, society becomes a propulsion. There's a motivation in stepping up to the challenge, stepping up to the life of awareness, the life of being able to play with this craziness that is this humanity, this network, the economics, the energy, the distractions, the advertising. It's really such a mess. And it's really something quite amazing when you contend with it in a playful way. Now, how do you go about doing that? Well, it means burning even when you don't want to burn, burning when you forget to, burning when things are difficult, burning when there's a feeling that you don't want to be having, burning when you have certain thoughts about certain things that are fleeting, that are disappearing, that are dissolving, that you don't quite capture. Now, there's a funny difference between dissolving thoughts consciously and having thoughts that are elusive, that you lose. That's really the difference between having a life and not having a life. When you dissolve something consciously, you've had the thought and you've experienced it, and you're allowing it to disappear, allowing yourself to let go. And that's very different to having thoughts that are just coming to you, and once they're gone, and you didn't really have them. Do you really have your thoughts? Is the same question as, do you really have your life? What does it mean to have your life, to have the life you've been given? And it's tricky to make such switches between these nuances of consciousness and awareness because, having your life and having a thought, or not having a life and not having a thought, it's really a game of, what you are and what you're not and what's real and what's not. And that can become a kind of chaos unto itself, yes? It's the same sort of conditioning of the chaos of traffic, the chaos of advertising that comes into the mind, the kind of way that you see yourself. So I am committed. I need to renew my commitment every day. My commitment is to doing the lifetime burn, to living a life of awareness, to healing myself, taking care of myself, installing good habits, and continuing on with what I am dedicated towards doing, which is living in this city. I am dedicated to living in this chaos. And I can feel a renewed motivation when I say that. I can feel a renewed sense of there's a resolve. Like, if I'm here and I'm staying here, then I better make the most of it. And there are many good things that come with that, right? Being able to make a video every day like this is really only possible because I'm always in this city. When I was traveling and when I had no permanent home, it would have been very difficult because, for one, I might not be able to get my laptop onto the internet every day. I might not be able to have the state of mind, the clarity of mind to turn on the camera and to press record and to talk into it, yeah? I've experienced that. I've experienced what it's like to press record on the camera, start talking, and then just be like, what am I saying? I can't do this, and turn it off. And then to never upload it. And I know what it's like to turn on the camera, to press record, and then to record something and then not upload it and to not share it. And then to say, this whole YouTube thing, I should just quit. I've quit many times. Now, there's lots of toxicity in YouTube. There's lots of problems, The whole thing can be taken as a problem unto itself. And I do even wonder if it's worth, if it's worth trying to find an audience on such a platform. But that's, maybe a longer conversation and a different conversation about YouTube itself, and which is also part of the chaos of this society of living in the city. It's a kind of distraction and a kind of advertising network. But I'm here and I'm dedicated to the lifetime burn. And this is my daily update. This is day 38 of the lifetime burn meditation. So you can join the community anytime. And I'll look forward to continuing this with you as we go on. So please do subscribe to the channel. Please do engage. Click the like button, leave a comment. I'm looking for your support with growing this channel. Talk to you soon, and I'll be back very soon with more.